Thanks so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Ahead today, Israel warning Hezbollah it's risking an all-out war, and the Israeli military says it could have devastating consequences throughout the region. While the world focuses on Israel's war with Hamas, Hezbollah has already launched thousands of attacks, starting wildfires and creating havoc in northern Israel. As many countries, including the United States, push for a Palestinian state next to Israel after the war in Gaza, we take a look at the potential dangers such a state could create for Israel. Here in the U.S., when students go back to class after this summer, they'll see some new faces on hand in many states. Volunteer school chaplains who can also serve as counselors. And turning a trial into a testimony, how one congregation in Florida rebuilt their church after it was destroyed in a Category 5 hurricane. All those stories and more ahead today on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
Let's begin this half hour in the Middle East, where Israel has issued a warning to Hezbollah, saying an all-out war could be devastating for Lebanon and the entire region. The warning comes as Hezbollah has launched thousands of attacks on Israelis, driving nearly 100,000 of them out of their homes. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl brings us the story.
Israel is warning that Iranian-backed Hezbollah is risking all-out war. This is in response to last week's intense rocket attacks, the worst of the war so far.
Hezbollah's increasing aggression is bringing us to the brink of what could be a wider escalation, one that could have devastating consequences for Lebanon and the entire region.
Since October 7th, Hezbollah has fired more than 5,000 projectiles at Israeli civilians, forcing the evacuation of nearly 100,000 Israelis. Hagari says Iran is behind it all.
Iran's terror proxies continue to drag the region to destruction. Israel will continue fighting against Iran's axis of evil on all fronts, in Gaza, in Lebanon, in other fronts.
Avraham Levine of the Alma Center told CBN News since the beginning, most of the world has been ignoring the Hezbollah attack on northern Israel.
We're talking about a country that's supported with good connections in Europe, with France, good connections with the United States, that supports the Lebanese army. Yet there's no pressure on the country to stop, eliminate, or even slow down this attack on the northern front.
The attacks are devastating parts of northern Israel, causing huge fires in the summer heat and dryness.
We're talking about thousands of acres, maybe up to 15,000 acres in the north, all across the Western Galilee, Northern Galilee, and the northern Golan Heights, all from Hezbollah shooting towards the forests, exploiting the situation for their benefit.
In the south, the IDF suffered severe losses in the fighting in Gaza. 12 Israeli soldiers were killed in separate incidents within 24 hours over the weekend, 8 of them when their armored personnel carrier was hit in an explosion. In an effort to help Gaza's beleaguered citizens, the IDF says it will take a daily pause in fighting in parts of the southern Gaza Strip to help make sure humanitarian aid can get in. The Israel police, whose unit led the rescue of 4 hostages on June 8th, released body cam video of Israeli forces under heavy gunfire while rescuing female hostage Noah Argamani, telling her, "We're taking you home." Sunday, Prime Minister Netanyahu announced the dissolution of the war cabinet formed to manage the war against Hamas and Hezbollah as part of the agreement with Benny Gantz when he joined the coalition government. Netanyahu says Gantz's resignation makes it unnecessary, and he'll make decisions with the defense minister and key cabinet ministers. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Many countries, including the United States, have been pushing for a Palestinian state after the war against Hamas in Gaza comes to an end, something widely opposed in Israel. The idea of a two-state solution with Israel and Palestinian state has been around a long time, almost 100 years. Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell spoke about this and the idea of a revitalized Palestinian Authority with Itamar Marcus from Palestinian Media Watch. Take a look.
Itamar Marcus, founder of Palestinian Media Watch. On Monday, the UN Security Council resolution called for a two-state solution with Gaza and the West Bank under the Palestinian Authority. What's your reaction?
Well, obviously horrified by this kind of an option. We saw the October 7th massacre by Hamas, which was a direct result of Palestinian Authority education, not Hamas education. Palestinian Authority has been creating the messages throughout the Palestinian Authority, throughout Gaza, and responsible for education since 1994, and this is the result. The Palestinian Authority makes it clear what their goals are. Their education is very clear. Why would the international community, why would the UN want to create an Iran-like state all around Israel, in both Judea and Samaria, and the Gaza Strip? It would be a tragedy for Israel. It would be a recipe for endless wars, and I don't even want to think of the number of casualties from such a situation.
Could you see the Palestinian Authority actually overseeing both Gaza and the West Bank?
First of all, they couldn't do that because Hamas, the UN's calling for a ceasefire. Hamas still has half of its terrorists. They still have the leadership. You've still got Yahya Sinwar, who's their leader there. You've still got Mohammed Deif, who's another leader. You've got all the horrific people who planned October 7th. So they would just build up a terrorist organization again. If the Palestinian Authority tried to establish itself, their officers and officials would be killed immediately, as has happened apparently already. So it's like talking about putting a Palestinian Authority or an American organization to run the moon right now.
The U.S. State Department has once a revitalized Palestinian Authority. In your view, has it or is it being revitalized? It's
a farce because the world is, and then the United States welcomed and said they hope it has more transparency and less corruption. Well, let me tell you, the problem is not transparency and corruption. The problem is that the Palestinian Authority teaches its people that Israel has no right to exist, that killing Jews is something that Allah wants, that destroying Israel is not only a national goal for Palestinians, but is also a goal for Islam because Israel is on holy Islamic land. These are the things that have to be changed in the Palestinian Authority, and we haven't seen any indication of any change at all in the new government. I'll just point out 2 of the new ministers have tremendous terror support in their background. There's the Minister of Women's Affairs, who right after October 7th made a speech that Palestinians have a right to defend themselves. She also appeared after October 7th at an event glorifying and honoring imprisoned terrorists, including terrorist murderers. One of them, Ibrahim Hamad, who's serving 56 life sentences, and she's standing next to his poster honoring him. And she's a new minister for Women's Affairs, and the Minister for Religious Affairs in the Palestinian Authority, who's part of this quote-unquote revitalized government, a number of years back spoke about the Jews being descendants of monkeys and pigs, destined for torture, and then he called on Palestinians to be the ones who torture the Jews on behalf of Allah. There is nothing different in essence. In fact, the statements and the ideology that the Palestinian Authority has been expressing since the new government has been formed is every much as bad as it has always been, and possibly even worse.
Coming up, a powerful heat wave is expected across the country for this week and possibly beyond. And as the temperatures heat up, the battle is underway in an attempt to stop multiple wildfires in Southern California. We're going to bring you that story today when we come back. You're watching CBN NewsWatch.
Get your daily quick start from CBN News. A quick read on the important news of the day delivered right to your inbox. Stay current on breaking news, politics, and entertainment. Go to quickstart.news and subscribe today.
A record-breaking heat wave is on the way to much of the United States, with temperatures expected to reach dangerously hot levels in the Northeast and Midwest. And on the West Coast, the race is on to stop multiple wildfires in Southern California. CBN's Dale Hurd is on this story.
Firefighters are battling multiple blazes in Southern California.
Bulldozers, hand crews, fire engines, and again, our fixed-wing and rotary-wing aircraft all fighting this blaze.
One fire north of Los Angeles has burned more than 14,000 acres, forcing the evacuation of more than 1,200 people.
Oh, wow, look at that McDonald's.
The winds are probably going to be the biggest factor in battling this blaze. It's going to make the effort much more difficult.
Up to 70-mile-per-hour winds. This camera captured just how quickly the fire spread in just a few hours. Dozens of cars at this auto repair shop just off the I-5 freeway were torched. Firefighters were able to stop the progress of another fire near Lancaster, but still another destroyed a number of buildings in Sonoma County. This could be an especially dangerous fire season thanks to a rainy winter that caused the growth of vegetation that is now fuel that's helped kick off the California fire season early.
We were surprised with the heat and the fire happening early in the summer.
Meanwhile, heat typically seen in July and August is bearing down on the Midwest and Northeast. Pittsburgh could hit 99 degrees Wednesday.
This is going to be the worst from Monday to Thursday, but even continuing into the weekend, some of these warm temperatures.
Weather officials warn residents to take precautions not only for heat, but for the chance of torrential rain from the Gulf to the Plains and Midwest.
So it could end up being some significant and even potentially widespread flash flooding in some of those areas, as well as river flooding.
There's even the chance for snow in the Rockies and Northwest. More than 260 million Americans will experience temperatures above 90 this week, and parts of the Northeast will see the mid to upper 90s. And lurking around the heat dome, those possible flooding rains. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
School's out for the summer, but when classes return this fall, there will be new faces in many buildings, including school chaplains. We're going to show you why so many states are welcoming them to the classroom. The story's coming up right after this. From gender identity to mental health struggles, school-age children face serious challenges today. To help students, a number of states are allowing volunteer chaplains to serve as counselors in public schools. The latest is Florida, where Governor Ron DeSantis recently signed a measure into law. Charlene Aaron reports on this growing trend.
After this law takes effect July 1st, the process will begin as volunteer chaplains apply and undergo background checks. Then it will be up to school districts, individual students, and their parents to take part.
No one's being forced to do anything, but to exclude religious groups from campus, that is discrimination. You're basically saying that God has no place. That's wrong.
And it's a great thing. My dad was a preacher. I'm a preacher's kid, and it's great.
More than a dozen states have proposed measures to allow chaplains in public schools.
17 states are involved in chaplain legislation. Just recently, it passed out of both houses of Louisiana. We expect it to be sent to the governor soon. It's happening around the country because it is so needed.
Florida House Speaker Paul Renner believes chaplains can possibly offer alternatives for students, pointing out that guidance counselors in the state had allowed and even encouraged students to transition to the opposite sex without their parents' consent.
They were giving them different clothes to wear, changing their name without ever telling their parents. And if this is the kind of guidance they're getting from guidance counselor, I think it's about time we have a different perspective in the middle of the school that does respect our values.
This push for chaplains comes as mental health issues among students are growing and schools face a shortage of counselors. According to the American School Counselor Association, the disparity for the 2022-2023 school year came in at a ratio of 385 students to one counselor. The recommended number is 250 to 1. Rocky Malloy leads the National School Chaplains Association.
I got news of 2 children that committed suicide. One was in 8th grade, one was in 10th grade. And it's schools that did not have chaplains. The chaplain's role is to prevent that type of calamity from happening.
In 2023, Texas became the first state to allow school chaplains to help counter a decrease in qualified mental health professionals and growing teacher burnout.
The idea that our teachers now are experiencing high levels of trauma and PTSD, that is something new that's happening in education. and our teachers need support. Chaplains are great to help our teachers through this.
Texas Board of Education member Julie Pickren says chaplains have also resulted in making schools safer.
A chaplain in Texas was key in one of our school districts at noticing what was happening with the students and what was going on with these young girls, and brought it to light to the sheriff, and was instrumental in identifying this human trafficking ring in a school district in Texas.
Critics, however, claim chaplains could do more harm than good. One concern being their only requirement is passing a background check, and that schools notate a chaplain's religious affiliation. The American Civil Liberties Union of Florida stating, "Public schools are not Sunday schools, and chaplains are not school counselors. Allowing chaplains to assume official positions, whether paid or voluntary, in public schools as counselors or other support staff will undermine this right by creating an environment ripe for evangelizing and religious coercion of students in violation of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution." A claim Renner disputes.
The Constitution prohibits the establishment of a religion, for example, forcing us all to be Catholic or Baptist. It does not in any way, shape, or form, despite a lot of effort to say otherwise, prohibit the free exercise of religion. And so the left has done a good job of trying to get Christians out of the public life altogether.
Meanwhile, in Oklahoma, the Satanic Temple is seeking to take advantage of this movement, threatening to deploy its ministers into schools if the state approves a measure allowing chaplains. That's something the state's education chief, Ryan Walters, strongly opposes, saying Satanists are not welcome in Oklahoma's schools.
60 years ago, they said they did something. They said, we don't need God or spirituality in school. Look where it took us to today. God is back. The chaplain is the perfect person. They're the spiritual source of a school.
Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
Coming up, turning a difficult trial by weather into a testimony as a congregation in Florida had to rebuild after a destructive Category 5 hurricane wiped out their church. We're going to bring you their inspiring story when we come back. You're watching CBN NewsWatch.
Download the CBN News app, 24/7 news from a Christian perspective at home or on the road. One place for all of your news. Breaking news alerts. Set daily prayer goals and pray for news stories. Read the most important news and watch CBN News Channel live. CBN News, because truth matters. Go to cbnnewsapp.com to get the app today.
It's been 5 years since Hurricane Michael, a Category 5 storm, devastated Florida's Panhandle. Today, Lighthouse Church in Panama City Beach stands as a testament to perseverance. Brody Carter brings us their inspiring story of recovery and faith in action.
The scars from Hurricane Michael, a Category 5 hurricane, are still seen here in Panama City Beach, Florida, even 5 years later. Here are the remains of the original Lighthouse Church building. Now, just a concrete slab that once supported a growing congregation.
And when you're in Florida, if it's a 3, you don't worry about a 3. But when it went to a 5, I said, okay. So we packed everybody up and we evacuated.
The first Category 5 storm to strike Florida's Panhandle. Michael became the most powerful hurricane to make landfall in the U.S. It claimed 59 lives and caused an estimated $25 billion in damage.
Sadly, I have to go get a demolition permit to take down the remainder of the building.
Pastor Cole Bailey leads Lighthouse Church. It used to be located in Panama City Beach. That is, before the storm caved in its roof.
This is one classroom. This will be the east side classroom. I have never been through anything like that in my life. There was no comparison. When Michael came through and it ripped off 100,000 roofs in an hour or whatever it was, these numbers were insane. We knew we were in big trouble.
After 24 years of serving this community, Hurricane Michael took everything except the ground it stood on. Its foundation in faith, however, remained unshaken.
Just days after the storm hit, and we're all still just in shock, I get a call from someone from Operation Blessing.
That led to a partnership which mobilized volunteers bringing chainsaws, hot meals, and a spirit of perseverance. Pastor Bailey saw it as the power of faith in action.
They came in with resources that blew our minds. They came in with hundreds of volunteers. Just at one location, we were able to serve 38,000 hot meals after that storm. One location. We lost count at our other location at 20,000 meals. Resources are coming in. Equipment is coming in.
Stephanie Robinson has been part of Lighthouse since it started in 2000.
I knew God was going to move, but it's hard to see in that, that devastating time of just everything that God had kind of built just plummeting. And but it was amazing to watch the community and family of God just immediately step in.
Despite the storm, Stephanie says the church found its true strength in the faith of its people.
If the Lord didn't save you from it, He's going to bring you through it.
Today, the new building stands in a renovated movie theater across the bridge in Panama City.
And it is a beautiful picture of God taking the destruction and bringing something out of the ashes, really and truly, and just exploding here.
But this church, right here, is so thankful for when Operation Blessing landed on our property. It helped us through the hardest time of our lives. I cannot express to you how life-changing and how powerful that ministry is.
The story of Lighthouse Church is a bright example of how a church body can suffer well, believing that God can and will use the storms in this life for His glory, if we allow Him to. Reporting in Panama City, Brody Carter, CBN News.
Time now for your Monday motivation, and today I leave you with this thought. God specializes in the impossible. Miracles aren't a surprise to Him. They're in His nature. They're what He does and who He is. So as you find yourself staring at the impossible, know this: it can be fixed, it can be mended, it can be repaired, and it can be made new. You can begin again. With that word, make this a marvelous Monday and have yourself a wonderful rest of the week. That will do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can always find more of our news programs on the CBN News channel. You can find them there at any time as well as online. That is cbnnews.com. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here same time tomorrow. Goodbye and God bless.